everyone, and welcome to WIU Inside the System, presented by the School of Law Enforcement and Justice Administration. My name is Dr. Jamie Johnson. I am the Interim Director for the School of Law Enforcement and Justice Administration. Today, we have a special guest today. We have Professor Glen Schwartz coming on today, and we're going to be exploring his expertise, all the experiences that he brings into the classroom every day here. He is also our Internship Coordinator, and when I say he is the cornerstone of our entire area for the School of Law Enforcement, he is the cornerstone, okay? So first, I'd like to welcome you. Professor Schwartz, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks
to the
for
show.
having me. Thank you.
We're excited to have you here.
Well, and I'm excited to be here.
Oh,
and
that is excellent.
Kind words, and I thank you for them.
Oh, it's not a problem. So, 27 years, Illinois State Police. That has to be exciting just right there.
It was a pretty good run.
Oh, I love it.
It was a great run. Yeah, 90% of it I truly loved. 10% was probably terror beyond belief, and probably some internal stressors and some politics also. So, yeah, it was a good run. It was.
But we'll get into some of the terrors and probably some internal as we start to go in.
We might hit on a couple of them.
All right, Glenn, I got to ask you, because here's the thing. We have students come in, whether it be freshmen, transfers, and they're always asking questions. Should I become a police officer? What about Illinois State Police? What should I do there? And they're all in that same boat, right? How did you choose to become a state patrol officer for the state of Illinois?
Well, I tell you what, it was something that's been with me most of my life. When I was a grade schooler, I looked up to the law enforcement officers. I had the luxury of meeting a couple of real troopers, young for them, and that kind of motivated me and made me, hey, I want to be one of those guys. And that carried with me all through high school. When I was in high school, I found an old essay actually that I wrote in high school. And it talked about what I wanted to do when I was older, and sure enough, and this was only a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah, no lie. I found it in a box of like old rooms from when you were like 10.
Yeah.
And
I hate to think of it.
I know, but I found it and I read it. I showed it to my wife, and it's like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. And but anyway, yeah, I always kind of envisioned myself doing it. I thought I would do. I was confident that I could do the job. And of course, the old TV shows that had law enforcement in it all over the place, I gravitated towards them, and it was just something that I always wanted to do. And so I was a military kid, so I went into the military after high school, and I got a bachelor's degree while in the military on the West Coast. So when I got done with that, I was like, man, this is your time. This is your time to do it, now or never. So I flew back from California back to Illinois, because they were ranked like #1 in the nation for law enforcement agencies in pay. And I didn't, as a 22-year-old, I'm not really thinking that too much.
Yeah.
All I know is I want to look good in that uniform. I want the gun and the badge, and I can do this, and I can do it good.
Excellent.
So I came back, I took the written test, did the physical test, and that went well. I met some other guys who were also interested in the profession. I thought, I like these guys, I can fit in well with these guys. So I went back to California. I had to fly back again for the psychological evaluation. Somehow I passed it. So
you're saying people can pass it?
Oh yeah, I actually did pass it. And on that note, if some of you guys who might listen to this got a little bit of sketch in your background, not to worry, I did too. Change your ways, of course, but don't worry. A lot of people get in this profession, and you will still be an exceptional law enforcement officer. So anyway, then I went to the medical review board and the hiring interview, and was fortunate enough to get offered in an academy class, 87, and January 1990. And here we go. That's kind of what started it.
Wow.
Now I talked about the two troopers I met as a kid.
No.
This is kind of cool. I was probably 9 or 10 years old, And some family friends of ours ran a gas station.
Was this in Illinois or
In
out
Illinois.
west? Okay,
oh, no,
okay.
Illinois, yeah. Quincy, Illinois, where I was born and raised. And here I am, 9 or 10 years old. I was a big kid, so I was there like, you know, they expected more out of me when I went there to work. And these gas stations today aren't like they were in the old days. This one had like a full service garage where the doors opened up and they worked on cars. And of course they had me doing whatever I could do in there. But these two troopers came in and they pulled in to get gas. And it was kind of like a deal for them, and they'd come in and chat up with the people who were in there.
Oh, yeah.
And when they came in, especially with me the first time, I saw the place come to a halt. You know, I was kind of like, man, who are these guys and what do they do? I mean, they look good, they look sharp, they had nice new clean cars. They came in, everybody was talking to them, they were kind of running the show. And not to mention, they were nice to me. I mean, why are these guys who are on top of the world being nice to a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old?
Correct, yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And here's another thing. They were Trooper Mark Johnsey and Dale Sandlin. Fast forward, let's see, 10, 12 years anyway. No, probably 15. I'm a fairly new trooper in District 8. I go down to Springfield for Field Training Officer School, which is where I can teach people how to be new troopers. And well, now Sergeant Dale Sandlin, who was one of them troopers back then, was running this program and teaching. So of course, him and I had a nice talk about old times. And same guy, I mean, he was close to retirement then. But kind of how it came full circle that, you know, he was one of the first ones I saw, then I come on the job, and here he is again. So, like I said, it was always still something I'm real proud of being part of.
Oh, yeah,
and I still communicate with the guys frequently as much as I can, or as much as they want me to. And I'm really fortunate to have had a good run. And as far as my whole career, yeah, I went to the academy. Got selected for the academy class, but I had a somewhat of a storybook career. I did a lot of different things. I was able to get into our investigative unit at a young age and a young time on the job. So I worked a lot of murder cases. I worked a lot of public officials, financial crimes, sex assaults. Then I went to a drug task force for 11 years, which is an undercover drug task force. And if somebody would approach me early in the game, like, hey, you're going to spend 11 years in a drug task force, I would have never believed them. I was like, no, I don't think so. I'm very happy being a trooper, and it was a great job, fun job. And then, you know, I was able to do more. Most of my career, I was in an investigative role.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough to gather some promotions and retire as a district commander when I ultimately did retire. But it's a wonderful run, wonderful opportunities, and I'd probably do it all again.
You know what, I love it because I love the passion. It's like, you know, when you talk to, say, like a pro athlete or say a professional fighter, and they're like, not that you're injured or anything, but they say, hey, I'm in pain, and they always say, would you ever do it again? They're like, yeah, every stinking day, okay, right? And I can feel that passion, and I love that, okay, right?
I feel like good. I always say that even to my wife. I'm like, yeah, you know, I could go out and do that job again. Then I think, yeah, until something bad happens.
And I'm sure you might hear it then, okay, at that point I think, okay.
Oh yeah, she won't want no part of that.
I love it, I love it. Now, out of all your specialty areas that you've had, because whether that be investigations or whatever you might be in all your different roles, what did you love the most, and which one did you not like the most?
Boy, that's a good one. There's good and bad to both.
Yeah.
There really is. Patrol side, uniform side, it's more predictable. Not many options for opportunities to get called out. In the investigative side, where I spent 18 of my 27 years, actually for 20 years of my career, I was on call all the time, whether it's because I was a supervisor or because of investigative needs. So I guess the one thing that we got kind of burned out on is the call-outs.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when, especially in the drug task force, we were battling meth labs back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and we might get called out 3 times a week.
That's a lot.
Which, with a wife and a couple little kids at home and other things you got to do, we were, it was hard to keep your unit together and keep going, but we did. We were true troopers throughout that. I'd say that was probably the hardest for us. I mean, dealing with victims and being, conducting yourself in a manner that you should.
Correct.
That's expected, and you need to do that, not sometimes, but all the time.
Yeah.
You always got to conduct yourself favorably for the department, and most importantly, for the community you serve, because they will remember that.
Oh, yes. They
forever. We may not,
Yeah.
but I tell people, I said, you know, the people you talk to every day will remember that for life.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you treat them right and do your job. So we got off track there a little bit, but
No, that's good.
I think that's the big one. As far as handling serious crime, that was part of the job. You know, yeah, sometimes it's really bad, but that's when they really need you to step up.
Correct.
You know, and do your job and do it good. So, you know, I'd say it's the, you know, the call outs and then seeing people getting hurt.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, this next question, I flat out put it in because students come to me all the time, especially when they're prospective students, they're coming in, they're excited to be a part of the program, right? Or they're reading your bios, and here's what they're always like, I hope I don't make a mistake. So I hear that a ton. Then I was like, what if I actually do bad? And that pressure's so high on them. So what I'm trying to do is just kind of ask all of us, including me, okay, right? What was your biggest failure? And how did you overcome it, or how did it impact you? Because students need to know they're not going to be perfect, and we're not perfect, right? Okay, so we've made mistakes. I think it's fair. Is that fair?
It's totally fair.
I made like 10 million. Okay, that would be a long podcast. So, okay, what would be yours?
Well, it's going to be hard to narrow this down. I've made plenty. I guess mistakes are expected.
Yeah.
From new people. Mm-hmm. To make the same mistake over and over is unacceptable.
Correct.
As a supervisor or a leader or commander, you should think about risk and risk management all the time, mm-hmm. and decision making. So as a new person coming in, don't stress it so much. There's mistakes made in law enforcement. Mm-hmm. Just learn from them and move on. Some of my mistakes, I mean, other than normal stuff, like
we don't talk
day
about
in, day out. I mean, I'd say one of my biggest ones, and I was midway through my career. I think I was probably running a drug task force as a master sergeant, and I was up for a promotional interview. And okay, that's fine, but my mistake was I let my ego get in the way of stuff. And that's very unlike me. Mm-hmm. I am a very humble person. I know where I come from, and I know how to conduct myself. But in that particular situation, I basically went into the promotional interview and did okay, but I kind of blew it because I thought I was a lot better than I was. And I didn't do so hot. And I didn't get selected for the position. Well, lucky for me, I was able to learn from it, and I had plenty of other opportunities down the road. But the biggest thing for me there is stay humble, keep learning, don't be a know-it-all. Just prepare. Mm-hmm. You'll never regret the time you will prepare for an interview or having a special event that you might want to spend some time. You'll always want to, you'll never regret taking a little time to prepare for it. So that was me, a personal one that I was kind of like, dang, that's a real dagger in the old career. You know what I mean? As you're thinking you're moving along well, but I was able to come away fine and regroup. Another failure is kind of funny, but wasn't.
It's funny now. That's what it always is.
What I can say is slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Someday, if you guys going to law enforcement, so especially with the Illinois State Police, you're going to get a nice, new, shiny State Police squad car, and it's and it's something you're proud of, and you spend a lot of time in it. Mine always looked impeccable, always in order. I was very proud of it, but you got to slow down a little bit. I recently transferred from the Peoria area to the West Central Illinois area, down around Pittsfield, Quincy, where I currently live, and I was heading to an accident in the middle of the night, and I was on a gravel road unknown to me. Ooh. And I come up on a hairpin turn, and the turn went to the right, and I went straight. Okay. And I went straight. And I ended up totaling a squad car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing there is, don't wreck squad cars. Slow down a little bit. Make good decisions. If you got time, if you can make a decision that you got time to make, take all the time to make your decision. Yeah. If you got to make a quick decision, well, that's a whole different story. If time's on your side, take your time, make some good decisions. That for me, I was on a road I didn't know. I should have been paying better attention. I think that's the only squad car I crashed in 27 years, and that's the only one I wanted to crash. Did I get in big trouble? No. Did I get made fun of? Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you basically live with that until somebody else does another super stupid, worse than you.
Yeah, I got it.
So that's another one. And like I said, just try to slow down a little bit, make good decisions, keep risk in mind. That'll make your supervisors very happy.
Well, I understand. Well, here's the thing, too. Ego shocked me. Okay, and the reason why I say that, you're the humblest person I have ever met, okay? And obviously, you know how much I think of you, okay, right? And honestly, the students love you. That's one thing I always say is humble, so kind, okay? Willing to show us where it keeps us in line. I mean, you have all that stuff, right? But I just wanted to let that known that, that one shocked me.
Well, those are the qualities, what you said, that's what you want to strive for as a state police trooper. Yeah. I mean, you want to be exceptional all the time. And I know it was very unlike me to be portrayed as that.
We all have our moments, right?
I guess so. I guess I was probably in my late 30s to 40, and I was like, things didn't fall my way that day. That wasn't my day.
I got it.
But I've had my days, so I'm good.
Well, you're going to love this next question as we continue on, right? So I get a lot of 18-year-olds, coming in. I've actually, believe it or not, I've had 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, all right, wanting already to come into our program, which is exciting, right? Oh, yeah. And so here's the question that you get, and I've been asked this, and I got asked this by a parent, so I'm going to give it to you, okay? What would you tell your 18-year-old self to better prepare yourself for the career that you want now, okay, and that you've had? Because a lot of these students come in, they're like, what do I need to do? How do I need to be? And I'm like, you know what? You have to be you, but we all have our individual lines. What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self? I'd probably tell myself, don't stress so much. Yeah. It's going to work out.
I'm hearing that theme a lot.
Because that would be me. Yeah. When I was 18, I was stressed. I was worried about what I would do, whether or not I would be successful. I was in a big hurry. I was in a big hurry to get on with life and get out of the house and be an adult.
I got it.
I would probably say, hey, man, don't stress so much. Slow down a little bit. Focus on what you really want to do. What is it that motivates you, and what's it that you feel confident that you can do and be a great person at doing? I'd probably start with that, and then getting back to the respectfulness. I mean, we're looking for exceptional behavior all the time. So, respectful, be a great communicator, treat people great, be caring, be trustworthy, somebody that people trust and will go to you with problems and issues and to resolve a conflict. I mean, let's face it, that's what we're in the business of, is resolving conflicts. let me think. If you got any bad habits, get rid of them immediately. As a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, whatever age you are, if you got some bad habits, get rid of them immediately. Work hard, study hard. You know, any self-improvement you can do. Fitness is huge. There's some people who can manage everything on the book and maybe even talk to people. But if you don't have the fitness aspect of it, you're going to either be stressed beyond able to do the job, or you won't be able to do the job.
Correct.
Because some of our job is physical. And not that you couldn't get yourself into a position where you're an exceptional interviewer or interrogator or can manage evidence, you still got to maintain the physical aspect of it.
Well, I kind of point to that, Glenn, because one thing, I see a lot of different students coming in, right? And I tell them about physical fitness, and then here's what I usually get. Well, I'll do my body split, chest one day, back one day, and it's okay. I hear that, and I'm like, What advice would you give them to say, get in shape?
I'd say, sadly, 80% of it is what you eat.
Yeah, it is.
So if they come into me, it's obvious they need to make some life changes. Yeah, working out's great. I've tried outrunning a bad diet for a long time.
Did you find the secret?
Yeah, you can't eat as much. Sadly, it's no fun.
And here's the kicker. I've noticed the older I get, the tougher it is.
Well,
and my diet has to change and change and change. And it's like, wow, I could
What
eat
more
a
can you
pizza.
do?
I know. It's like I could eat a pizza at midnight and
It's no
look
fun.
great. Not anymore.
It's no fun.
So,
well, as a young
Yeah.
person, you're better off. You can run, you can do all kinds of exercise, and your metabolism better. But it's really eating and exercise both. It's not just working out.
Yep.
If it was, I'd be probably happier. No, I would say, hey, get on a program. I mean, I worked out my whole life. You don't have to go crazy with it, but do some good cardio, some strength training. Core is probably the #1 thing that I would do.
I definitely agree with you on that. How about running? Were you a runner? I made a joke, to my own kids. I was like, no one's ever going to force me to run again. You know how that goes. What about running? Did you like all the running, or is that you?
I did run.
Oh, there you go.
I did. I did run. Did I just love it? No, but I did it.
Oh, I hated it.
I did run.
Say it straight up. Okay.
Now it's elevated treadmill for me is about as good as it gets. I'm done running in my life.
Yep.
But back in my career days, oh yeah, I ran.
I got it.
I jogged. I ain't gonna say run.
That's it. Got it.
But yeah, it was a good cardio. It made me feel good. And plus, we had to run for our annual physical fitness.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do good on that. So in a lot of departments, I think even mine, the Illinois State Police, I think they relaxed it a little bit where you maybe don't have to run it. You can maybe do an optional walk, which is a longer way, and you still want to motor and do good.
Yeah.
But so if you totally hate running, I still don't rule us out.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, I know you've touched on this, but I want to kind of expand on it. Okay, if that's okay. I would like you to tell me, and you've touched it, the 3 most influential people in your life who basically have set you up for everything that you are. You're seriously, when I say this, you're an incredible professional. So I'm just, who would that be?
Well, see, 3 most influential. For me, that's going to be somewhat difficult. I know probably my core values and ethics were probably somehow derived from my parents, grandparents, my cousins and uncles. As kids, we spent a lot of time with our cousins and uncles, and I got some uncles that I was very fond of. But I was kind of one of those that learned things the hard way also. I kind of had my own path, and people were probably like, I don't know, we're going to tell him anything. And so I learned a few things the hard way. I was the first one in my family to get into the law enforcement profession.
Okay.
So it wasn't like I was seeking people out who didn't really know. So for me, a lot of my influential people were outside of my inner circle and family.
I understand that.
So when I got in the military, in the Illinois State Police specifically, it was, my co-workers and the military commanders and Illinois State Police commanders. Those were kind of the ones that I looked at how they would handle certain things. I'd always be like, I'm in a tight spot. How would this person handle this?
Yeah.
You know, they would show up. They were fair. They were caring. They knew how to communicate. They just conducted themselves as people that you would respect.
Correct.
And that's who I sought out. I guess, getting back to earlier days, I had a English teacher, a football coach in high school. He kind of taught us, the work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
You guys come out here, it's going to be hard, you're going to work hard, and then we're going to play hard. And I still like that. I did the same thing with my kids.
What positions you play in football?
Defensive end and offensive guard.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I was a bigger kid.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Special teams, so.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was good stuff. And then like the two troopers, seeing them at a young age, they kind of, they obviously influenced me somewhat, even though it was kind of limited being around them, but it still was very memorable. But yeah, I think that's about all I can offer on that.
No, that's great. Thank you so much. Okay, question for you. What did you not expect in your career? What shocked you to think, wow, I didn't know that?
Well, for me, most everybody you deal with are having a bad day. There's a reason
yes.
you're going to have them.
Yeah.
They're either having a very bad day or one of the worst days of their life, depending on your assignment. And you kind of got to get yourself used to that. What else didn't I expect? You could go from 100% boredom to absolute terror and life-threatening situation in a moment.
Yeah.
And you got to be ready for that. And not that you got to sit there and worry about it, because you won't. You shouldn't. But you got to be ready and always kind of run scenario. I was always a big scenario guy. So I would always okay, while I'm down here, I'm going to keep myself fresh with some scenarios I'm going to run myself through. And so that way I will know what I'm going to do before it ever happened.
Smart.
This is how I'm going to conduct. This is what's going to happen. I know I am not going to do this if I'm presented with this. Correct. And this is what I'll probably do. And not that you can always do that, but that's what I would do. Let's see, what miss? Oh, we do everything 100% right. We don't. There's mistakes made.
Those are tough. I know for some of the students, even in our program, right, they make a mistake and they will beat themselves up again and again and again. And I know sometimes it's not a popular topic sometimes, but the mental health of the officer or anyone in law enforcement or public safety or anyone in our fields, right, has to be discussed. I mean, so you're not gonna be perfect, right? And you're gonna make mistakes. How did you handle that?
Well, I tried not to make mistakes.
Because you're a prepper. I can tell you're a prepper. You're ready to go.
But I made several.
Yeah.
I kind of was a risk taker, so I always had myself prepared for some trouble.
Got it.
And my superiors loved it because they're like, okay, we know that he's going to take some risks, but he's going to get results. And if we get him down on him, he's going to survive. Yeah. So I tried to get myself thick-skinned to where I can make a mistake, own up to it, and move on. And that's what I was. I didn't mind shouldering the burden or the trouble, so long as I knew it was appreciated. And I was lucky that I've had commanders and who would recognize that, like, okay, they messed up, or his unit messed up. But generally, that's not the case. This is kind of isolated. It won't more than likely happen again. And we kind of went on, you know what I mean? And we did great work. I mean, most of my units were real high activity and did good things, but in doing that, you make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You may have big cases. In a lot of cases, you're going to have problems and mistakes. If you're not active, not proactive, you'll have fewer mistakes.
Got it.
So mistakes is part of it. All I can say is try not to make them over and over, because that won't be tolerated very long.
No, we will not. So, and here's the thing too, because it's, I hear you. Okay, so of course you're prepping. I would say a small type A personality. Okay, so you are fully prepped, ready to go, right? You make the mistake. I'm going to ask a caveat question to this one. So you talked about getting yourself ready for that thicker skin. I've had some students literally, I'm not mean. You know me, I'm not mean, right? You're like, you know,
exceptional.
Right? Okay, yeah, okay. And so I've said, hey, you got to make these corrections, and I've literally had people cry. And I'm like, why are you crying? Okay, right? Something went wrong, okay? And then they're like, well, how do I handle that more? What advice would you give them to develop either the thicker skin or the ability to handle a little bit more? What advice would you give them? It's a tough
So
one.
you're looking to help them manage criticism and accept criticism.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's
No pressure,
That's
Glenn.
something you got to. That's something you got to work on.
Yes.
Luckily for me, I guess, with the path I took,
Yeah.
I got used to criticism.
Well, me too.
I did.
So I was like,
Sadly,
Yeah.
it seems like I'm still criticized all the time.
yeah, me too, actually. Yeah, it's okay.
But for a young person, gosh, that's a tough one.
I know it's.
I'm trying to think what I would even tell my own children. It's like
I threw a curveball. I'm sorry.
it's like, hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to say, hey, look at the arena where you're choosing to compete.
Yeah.
Said you are, well, like my daughter. She's an Air Force pilot. She flies a jet, and she has some rough days. And she calls me. I'm like, Allie, look what you're doing. You should have a couple bad days, or you should be criticized. They want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
They got to be on the money here. Same in law enforcement. You know, you look at where you're competing, and what you're doing, and who with.
Correct.
You're with a lot of people who are just like yourself. You're not going to be the best out there all the time. I think it's great to strive to be the best, or to be the best at certain things.
Yeah.
That's actually better put. Find your niche and try to be the best at those, and then realize that you can't be the number one at everything.
Understood.
And you know, your number one murder interrogator may not be the best DUI and conflict resolver
Correct.
at a critical incident. I mean, you're going to be two different people. So I think it's just knowing, hey, you're going to be criticized, and you can't be the best at everything all the time. But find your things. Always seek improvement, and that's part of being better. Is to take that criticism and act on it, and don't let it beat you down. You can't do that. Never quit. Yeah, you might break your heart a little bit or upset you, but you got to step back up and get right back in the game. And believe me, you guys can do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just comes with experience.
I got
You know, hey, you're 21 years old, you're 22 years old, you're going to get criticized. Just hopefully it'll be less and less. And you know, here's another thing. You know, I always talk about, or we talk about, like, oh, you're going to seek out mentorship and informal mentors and things like that. But when you're going through that, be thinking, someday you want to be the mentor.
Correct.
You know, it may not be your first 5 years. It could be maybe a 10-year mark for sure. You could be a informal mentor. Definitely when you hit the 20-year mark, I was in the mentorship program where I served as a mentor for junior officers. And that's what I think you want to strive for. And part of that criticism sets you up to do some of that. So
That's excellent. Excellent. All right, kind of the fun question, but I get this one. every time. Okay, I want this guy. Okay, so a lot of the students come in watching TV shows. Okay, right? So again, I don't watch them. I should have prepped for that, but I don't. I don't watch these things. So they're in their FBI shows, their police shows, the chip shows. Okay, Chicago PD, right? Can you please tell us any myth that you have heard about your profession or what's on TV, what's real, what's not real? Dispel something.
Well, I think you spilled it.
Is it?
Right there.
I was like,
I mean, that's the big number one. Hey, you can't solve a serious crime in 45 minutes.
thank you. I've said this to my wife. She watches Law and Order. Do you remember that? You know that show?
You know what? All my cop shows
Yeah.
are generally something from the 80s, maybe 70s,
Yeah.
and very few modern day ones do I watch.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same way, and it's always funny, but that's always resolved in 45 minutes. And she'll tell you that.
Yeah,
My wife say,
they do a great job.
Oh, yeah,
they
they'll
really
do
know
that.
what they're doing.
I had a parent once say going, well, why can't you guys do that? And I'm like, well, there's a few more steps. Okay, right? So.
Tell you what, I can explain that. In my, let's say, 20 years in investigative, I was in Zone 4 investigations,
Yeah.
Illinois State Police. We would have cases, a caseload, and plenty. We'd have a lot. And at one time I had 5 very solid agents, and 3 were graduates from Western here.
Really cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, and that's one thing, the networking from this university,
That's huge.
as far as law enforcement, is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, although I was not, I worked shoulder to shoulder with Western grads all the time, and
It's
close.
Okay. It's okay. We'll
I
still-
know, I appreciate it.
Sorry, I can resist.
But it's kind of fun to see how they look out for each other.
Oh, yeah.
They do. I mean, when we're going out over state lines for a case or going somewhere, like, oh, I went to school with this guy. Let me give him a call and see if he can help us
Yeah.
out with this or that. And so anyway, getting back to the cases, I mean, you might have 20 cases that you're actively working on. Everything from homicide to, once again, public officials to financial crimes, sex assaults. Believe it or not, they're pretty rampant out there. And crimes against property, if they're bad enough, we'll be doing those. And on the shelf too is going to be a couple cold case homicides.
Yeah.
So you figure most units are working the heater ones that are at the top of the list. That's where we're spending all of our time.
Got it.
And sadly, some things get pushed aside, like a 25-year-old cold case. And we actually worked one of them in 2010, me and the unit I was just telling you about. And I give the family credit. They're the ones that pushed it.
I understand.
They had contacted the governor, like, hey, we've had this 20-year-old murder and nothing's been done. And of course, it's been on our shelf.
Correct.
And we'd take a look at it every now and then and maybe try to do something, but you just really didn't have time. Well, once the call was made to the governor's office, we found time. we found time, and we worked on it. And in a year's time, we had it solved, and we have somebody in prison for that murder. And so you can see some cases take 25 years to solve, not 45 minutes.
Yeah.
A real murder case, if you solve it the first 18 hours, you're going to not be home. You're going to be running everything down, and if you're lucky, you're going to have a good, solid avenue on how to solve that. If you don't, within 18 hours or so, it could be another one on the shelf, or it could be hard to solve. Not everything gets solved.
Yeah, that's absolutely
It
true.
really doesn't. I mean, we try our best, but once they get cold, it's time to move on to other things that you have to try to solve.
I got it.
So I guess, getting back to what we were talking about, the myth of solving crimes in 45 minutes or an hour. It's ridiculous. It's entertaining. It's fun. Myth, we already talked about mistakes. Mistakes will be made. I don't know.
Well, I have a question for you because you brought this up like twice now. Okay, right? So your favorite TV shows are from the 80s. I'm just curious what you watched. Okay, because I'm sure. Okay. What police shows were you watching in the 80s?
Well, let's see here. It may not be.
I was alive in the 80s.
You would know these shows.
Probably do.
And they're still entertaining in their own way.
Yeah.
I'd say for sure, you got like Chips.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Heck, even Kojak.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, he's solid. Then some old funny shows that had law enforcement in them, which was me and my friends and my cousins all grew up with, was like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yep.
We watched that, and you gotta love that.
Yep.
Of course, Smokey and the Bandits and movies like that.
And those are totally accurate, right? I'm just
Well, they're accurate enough to get a good laugh and to get you hooked.
They're correct, yeah. I gotta love them. So, I had to ask that question. So I want to change up a question just because you've had strong mentors. I mean, that is absolutely clear. Okay, so I've had students come in and usually brought in by teachers or a counselor, no parents. Okay, right? And their comment was, I don't have a mentor. Or, I don't have anyone, but I want to come to this program. Or I want to help people, but I don't know what it looks like. It's your last question, Glenn, I promise. Okay, right? All right,
this is great.
Yeah. What would you tell them? Describe a good mentor. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear what it would be a good mentor that they will listen to you, that they can say, okay, that's what I need to look for. Because I'm going to tell you flat out, social media is not a good mentor. Okay, right? And it's I'm sure I'll get negative reviews for this one. I won't name anyone. Okay, but like some of the rock bands or the music people and that kind of stuff, really, are they good mentors? Maybe not. I'll use that terminology, right? You describe. Tell them what you would be considered a good mentor.
I think it's somebody who they or me, whoever's looking for the mentorship, somebody who has the ability and the job knowledge and the personality traits that you respect. I truly believe that when they say something that you respect it enough to listen and to maybe make changes in your life or to set up a clear path on how you're going to live your life in the path to go. That's what I think. And depending on who the person is and what their needs are, I don't think it really changes on the respecting their ability and their personality traits and how they treat people and how they were successful, how they successfully navigated through a part of their life where the young person may want to go.
That's excellent.
That's
excellent. Well, and I know that's just a talk question, and I do reference, and I always tell them, look, I flat out tell them, I was like, with our faculty are great mentors. And I say they're all different specialty areas, right? And I was like, you need to go talk to them, and they're open to us. So one thing that I've loved about you, okay, from day one, the one thing I noticed was, number one, your rapport with students is phenomenal. Your door is always open, even for me. I hope that's absolutely clear, because we've had multiple meetings, okay? It's always open, and you're always willing to say, hey, well, what about this? You talk to these students, you listen to these students, and then you give that sound advice. And it's backed up by 27 years of experience. And that is just phenomenal, okay? So there's not a program that I know in the United States that simply doesn't have you, okay? And as well as the wealth of faculty that we've got. So it makes us very, very special about what we do. And honestly, thank you for that.
Oh, of course.
Okay,
That's part of the job I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy working with the younger youth, I guess, or the younger people entering the profession.
Yeah.
To me, it's exciting. I'm excited when they make that break into the profession with law enforcement agencies or wherever they go. I like being accessible and maybe helping them through some problems and getting back to the teachers. There's professors here, when we're doing the internship program, when we talk about references, I said, hey, your teachers here are great. They're great ones.
Yeah, they are.
If you can get some of them to be a reference for you, and the mentorship, and there's not any that I know that wouldn't help a student in need or wanting to, feel more comfortable with what they're getting themselves into. So So
I always say, and I truly believe it, our faculty and our staff of our school are the heart and soul, period. And so on that note, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. So,
you bet. Thank you for all you do.
oh, thank you, and I hope to hopefully come back on. I'd love to talk to you about a few things more and expand on that later in time.
I'll be happy
Hopefully we
to.
could do it, yeah. But thank you, Glenn, very much.
Always a pleasure.
All right,
Thank
you. Okay, so as we conclude, for Professor Schwartz, it was just phenomenal to have him here on this show, and we want to thank you for watching this episode. Please stay tuned for more episodes to come up and learning more about our faculty and the expertise that we bring through WIU Inside the System and the School Law Enforcement and Justice Administration. Take care.